Here we have a piecewise function whose formula is not given, and we have to figure out what the integral is just from the graph. So let's start with integral from 2 to 6 f of x dx. What does this mean? This means you want the area under the curve from 2 to 6. Now, when you do this, you have to know that if the graph falls below the x-axis, the area is treated as negative. So these are negative values, and here we have a positive value. Okay, so what's the integral? Well, we know that this length is 1 and this length is 1, so this would be a square of size 1. So it would be 1 plus another 1. There's another 1 here, right? And then this one is half a square because it's a triangle, right? And you have to remember that these 3's are falling below the x-axis, so these are considered as negative. But then there is this triangle, which is considered as positive triangle, so it will be considered as positive. And the result is that you end up with negative 2.5, because 1/2 is 0.5, right? Plus a 0.5, and that's equal to negative 2. So the answer to this first one is negative 2. Now what if you do the integral, but this time you take the absolute value of f of x? Well, for this you have to think about what the graph would become if you put an absolute value. So if you put an absolute value of f of x will be same as f if it's already positive, but if it's negative, absolute value makes it positive. So this thing that's here, it's f is negative 1, that would be positive 1 if you take the absolute value, right? So it's going to be like this, and then this. So it's like the exact mirror image of the portion that's below the x-axis. So in this case, this is the graph. You have this as your graph. And therefore, if you do the integral, again, it's the same thing, but the difference is now these are treated as positives. So you no longer have a minus, so it'll be just the square plus the triangle plus another triangle. Actually, it's more like this. So let me change how it looks. Let me change how it looks. It should be more like this. Okay. So like that, and this plus this gives you 1. So 1 plus 1 plus 1, that's going to be 3. So that's the answer to part B. Now here's an interesting one. What if you integrate twice of f of x minus 3 dx? Well, this question is asking you if you know the properties of definite integrals, which is that if you have more than one terms, you can split them into two integrals. And if you have any constant multiple, you can bring it outside. So it's twice of 2 to 6 of f of x dx. And then integrating 3 gives you 3x, right? And then in this case, since you have a formula, you use the fundamental theorem of calculus. You put 6 and 2 like that. And we already have established that this part is equal to negative 2, right? So we have negative 2 times negative 2, 2 times negative 2, minus, and this one is you plug in 6, so it's 3 times 6, minus, if you plug in 2, it's 3 times 2, so that's negative 4, that's 6, 3 times 6 is 18, minus 6, that's 12, so it's minus 12, which is negative 16. So that's the answer to this part C.